Hi there, welcome to I'll Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Scorpio energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because it's not a personal reading. I don't know anything about you or your life. People have free will. Some people are going to harness this energy in high vibe Scorpio energy, some in a more worldly inspired Scorpio energy, and some in a more shadowy Scorpio energy. You know, it just depends on the lessons people have learned in life, if they're more healed and grown and matured than other people. High vibe Scorpios, people who want to be in deep, meaningful relationships. We're emotionally complex human beings for a reason, and, you know, it's part of... It's kind of like, do we want to go on the ride of life emotionally, or do we not? Some people love the world. They love themselves. It's more about them and their ego or their image or indulging themselves. And some people are manipulative. They just try to create the illusion they want to be in deep, meaningful relationships to indulge themselves in a relationship, but they really don't want to do deep, meaningful relationships. Shadowy Scorpios, people who kind of are more superficial and shallow, and they just might want to look like they're something they're not. And they try to manipulate people, confuse people about the truth. So let's go see what's going on in Scorpio energy. Listen to your intuition. We all tap into Scorpio energy. How do you harness yours? How do other people in your life harness their Scorpio energy? Because if you're high vibe, you'd probably want to be in a relationship with other people who are high vibe. The overarching reason for the reading is dark thoughts. And underneath that is professional assistance. We all have our shadow nature. We can all have fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. Do we connect in with our more emotionally loving, intuitive nature to help offset our fears and insecurities? Do we reach out to other people who are loving and encouraging and supportive to help us work through those feelings? Do we go get actual professional assistance from people if we need it? Some people should, but they don't. And some people do. And you might know some people who have some dark ways of thinking about themselves or about the world or about people they get in relationships with, just distrustful. Some people just get in relationships because otherwise they kind of get caught up in their head and their fears and their insecurities and kind of get out of balance, and they get in relationships with people for them to feel more balanced within themselves, you know? So let's go see what's going on in Scorpio energy. We have joyous fun, sacred temple, and taking steps. And the reason is because of increase. In a shadowy way, the way you could interpret this is that some people are kind of immature. And at any given moment in our life, the way we view life, we're on the right path. You know, that this is going to make us happy. That this is going to make us happy. You know, what is it that are we listening to love and intuition to guide our steps? Or is it more, I want to feel better, I want to have these things, so therefore let me try to get these things because I'm trying to make myself look more stable, more grounded, more balanced, more healed, have more status, more image, more money. High vibe people know it's about love. Other people maybe haven't seen the truth of that. And, you know, we've all had lessons learned in life, right? And we've all looked to things outside of us to be the answer to our problems instead of doing the work within ourselves. The people who have repeated a pattern over and over and over again saw the truth. It starts within me. I need to do this work to work through my own fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs and codependent nature. Instead of looking outside of myself, I need to do this work within myself emotionally. I need to offer myself love and compassion and forgiveness to free myself from my fears, my insecurities, my pride, my ego, my codependent nature, and the past. High vibe people have seen the truth. Some shadowy people could just be looking outside of themselves still for something outside of them to be the answer. Some people look to drugs and booze, sex, gambling. Other people look to relationships. and they treat a relationship like they would a drug or an alcohol. You are supposed to make me feel better. You are, and then if you don't, it doesn't work, because when we look outside of ourselves, that isn't the answer. Love was the answer. We were supposed to learn to love ourselves and believe in ourselves and heal and grow and mature ourselves. And some people, operating more from pride and ego, want to stay in denial of that truth. No, I just need to go indulge in this or get in a new relationship. That's the answer. And odds are people who think that way, that's how they're going to keep moving forward in their life, because that's how they view life, and that's what they think will be the answer to their problems. Other people have learned to love themselves. They've set themselves free from their more shadowy nature. Because the overarching reason for the reading is also the reason why the reading came out. Again, we all have fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. The high vibe people did the work within themselves to set themselves free. High vibe energy is about becoming more independent, being in life-giving energy to free yourself from the things that manipulate you. Then we have planning and action and commitment, and the reason is because of fragmented energy. You could look at our shadow nature as fragmented energy because love is what unifies us, that we make more balanced decisions. In tarot, we talk about the 4 elements: the heart, the mind, the worldly nature, and the creative, inspired, intuitive, passionate nature. If we're still in fragmented energy, we're not unified by love. And then it happens to be whatever 1, 2, or 3 aspects of ourself happens to be the one that we think is most important on that day to live our life from. I'm fearful. I'm in lust. I'm in greed. I'm in ego. I'm in self-indulgence. Some of the fragmented people are looking to get in a commitment to make them feel better, or to go indulge in whatever it is that they have decided will make them feel better. I'm going to put in work and effort to have stability and security, or have a certain power, influence, or money, or my looks, or whatever. It's just whatever that day is driving them. And high vibe people decided to take action, so they're not indulging their more immature worldly nature. And they decided to work through these issues within themselves to free themselves from it. And then we have friends and colleagues, and the reason it came out is because of dark thoughts. We can all get out of certain jobs, friendships, or relationships because we could have been dealing with some shadowy people. And we could have seen the truth that some of the people that we were kind of investing in the commitment card, our time, energy, and effort into, we realize that they're not kind of unified by love, that what drives their decisions more is fear, insecurity, or codependency. And we've learned to, you can even look at the friends and colleagues card as kind of like the foundation we operate from, or what we align with within ourselves. This life experience for some people made them realize it was like the catalyst to make them love and believe in themselves, to believe they deserve to be in other loving, balanced, stable, grounded relationships with people who acted from love driving and motivating them than fear, insecurity, or codependency. And why? Because they've seen the truth about people who operate from their shadow nature. And they got the help they needed. They aligned with their own loving, intuitive nature to work through their own fears and insecurities about leaving that type of relationship. Because we have this dualistic nature and duality exists in the world, we have different people in our life. We can We could have all been a stage of life, gotten in friendships and relationships with people, can have a lot of commonality in a lot of different ways with them, that we thought a dream was going to come into reality. But maybe as we were moving forward in the relationship, maybe did get in a committed relationship with them, was thinking about getting in a committed relationship with them. And somewhere on the journey of that relationship is when we could have realized that it isn't love and hope and faith that drives and motivates the actions that they take. You know, it's more the fear, the insecurity, or the pride and the ego. And even though people had fear of leaving that, because we can live our life a certain way with people, because in a lot of ways we could be on the same page, but one person can have hope and faith and belief and love, and the other person doesn't. And then as the relationship goes by, we kind of realize that someone might be creating an illusion, might be trying to manipulate us, or their shadow nature comes out. They are more bossy or controlling or petty or competitive or something. And we could realize that they need help, but we can only offer people love and encouragement. They have to do this work within themselves to choose to free themselves from the things that manipulate them and the people that manipulate them and the world, how the world, getting caught up in the world, thinking I have to live my life a certain way or dress a certain way, or, instead of living their authentic life. High vibe energy, being independent of your more worldly, egoic nature to live your authentic life. Shadowy energy represented by the devil is all the things that try to limit us, imprison us, oppress us, confine us. We are meant to live our authentic life. We are meant to learn to master our thoughts and our emotions. We have the free will. Which thoughts and emotions do we choose to sit in every day? And some people do sit in fearful thoughts. People are going to leave me. People are going to abandon me. People are going to betray me. But they want to be in relationships to make themselves feel better. And then they get in relationships with people, and then they don't do the work within themselves. And they could hope that the people they get in relationship with will keep moving forward with them while they keep staying kind of in more immature energy, and that people will keep indulging them acting in a more immature way, hoping that your own fears or ego will keep you in it, of leaving to go find a new job, a new friend, a new romantic relationship. Some people could be dealing with that right now within themselves. We all live our life. We all get into situations in life, have a lot of commonality. And then we get to know people, and it's all about us trying to get clear. Is this my truth or isn't this my truth? Why would I be tempted to stay in it if it doesn't seem to be aligned with my truth? Initially, there could have been a lot of things I liked about it, but then as we go through life, hopefully we're healing and growing and maturing over time, and we could just want to move forward in life differently. Kind of face our fears to go to the next phase of life. I've lived my life like this. I've kind of learned everything I was meant to learn. Now it's time to face my fears to go to the next stage of life. And some of the people that are in our life are like, you're going into like unknown territory. I haven't been there before. That's scary. It's like, yeah, I haven't been either. But, I don't want to if we keep living our life in a way that is kind of become dead, like there's nothing new to learn there, like our intuition is kind of challenging us to grow to our full potential, it starts to kind of tear down our foundation in the scattered energy. We're either continuing to move forward, and if we don't, it kind of takes away from. Because why wouldn't we keep moving forward? Why wouldn't we keep healing and growing to our full potential? Because we don't want to step out of our comfort zone, and we have fear of stepping out of our comfort zone. And when high vibe people feel that in a relationship, they start to do this work like, well, why do I feel kind of like unhappy, or like, I don't know, like I'm not accomplishing goals, or that I just kind of would like to do things differently in some way, shine my authentic light. I might have my own unique talent, skills, and things that I would like to invest more time in, or I just want to work through some of my fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs to kind of drop that baggage. We can carry them with us for a while, and then people do this work because it kind of starts to eat away at them. You could look at the fragmented or the scattered energy like that. And so then they do this work within themselves to work through their fears and insecurities to keep moving on. Great achievement underneath the professional assistance, achievement and victory, like over your own fears and insecurities, of the deception card. And then sometimes we can kind of go through a grieving process in a way, because we have our lessons we need to learn in life. Other people had their lessons to learn in life. Some people worked through theirs before we did. And sometimes we could feel like we're behind the curveball a little bit because, maybe I did spend too much time in a certain phase of life where other people move forward, and then we can kind of go through a little bit of a grieving process, and our conflict that we have. But we look at it and we say, you know what? I'm on my own journey. If I had been ready to move forward sooner than I did, I had my own unique lessons to learn, and other people had their own unique lessons to learn. And then I think the whole big lesson is to learn to love ourselves. And I think that's the hardest lesson to learn. Some people knew it and did it before we did. And but it's never too late, and it's our own unique life story. And eventually, if we're willing to get out of our shadow nature of pride and ego, that I'm not going to stay in loss and grieving and disappointment that some of the things I maybe could have done in my life, if I had been more bold and brave and confident and had learned to love and believe in myself sooner, it's kind of like being our own best mother, father, coach, voice to ourselves. We had our own unique journey. We had our own unique things to overcome within ourselves. And when we do, and we look at the things that we did go through, and the people that we met along the way, and the people we were in relationship with, some of them were loving people that we maybe didn't move forward with at one point in time in our life because we weren't ready yet. But we did still learn valuable lessons from them. They could be people that kind of gave us an example of how we do want to live our life, or the kind of people that we're now ready to be in relationship with, where before maybe we weren't, because we hadn't, we had to work through some of these issues that were unique to us. And we wish the people who moved on ahead of us peace, love, and joy. And now that we're moving forward, we wish the people in our past who might not be moving forward with us peace, love, and joy. Everybody's got their own journey. Life's about learning these lessons. We all learn these lessons at different times. Some people moved on ahead of us. We're going to move on ahead of some other people. Those people are going to move ahead of some other people, because life's all about learning these lessons. But we have to get out of our pride and ego to be willing to do that. Some people are very prideful and egotistical, and they like to play that role in people's life. Like, no, I'm this mature, stable, grounded person, and people are supposed to view me that way. I've had other people that have been in my life, and I wanted to keep playing that role in their life, but they wanted to move forward, so I let them go. And maybe for some people that is their role in life. Who knows? If you ever watch these near-death experiences on YouTube, and people talking about, what they learned when they were dead for a while and came back to life because of something, from pastors to nurses to teachers to children and parents. Some people play a certain role in life. And maybe for some people, their role in life is to be someone, and they could like to view themselves as someone who loves and nurtures people, and they can be loving and nurturing in a relationship, but if the people they get in a relationship with start to do this work within them, then they let those people go. It's like, you've healed. Okay, now I need to go find someone else to be in a relationship with that I can play this role in their life. And then if those people heal, then those people will go on. And then I'll go, and we could view them maybe as being prideful people, immature people, unwilling to change, unwilling to deal with their own fears and insecurities of why not be a loving, nurturing person in people's lives. And as they heal and grow and mature themselves, you keep moving forward with them. But some people like to play that role in people's life, but they're unwilling to kind of go to the next phase of life. They haven't been there before. And so then they get caught up in their fear or their insecurity, and maybe it makes them feel unstable and ungrounded. We all like to stay in our comfort zone. And some people are maybe never going to live their life any differently, because to step out of their comfort zone makes them feel too imbalanced and puts too much fear and insecurity. And then we're talking about Scorpio energy. So, we can all get in relationships with people, but then maybe for some people, when it becomes a more deep, meaningful relationship, that's when their fears and insecurities kick in. And the people they're in a relationship want the relationship to go to the next level and a more deep, meaningful relationship. And those people leave. And there could have been a lot of good things they liked that they learned in this relationship, but they don't want to keep staying in something where the other people might like to stay living their life that way. It's in their comfort zone. And the other people are like, but I'm kind of ready for the next level of a more deep, meaningful relationship. And so then they move on, and then these people stay to go find someone else. And if they find someone who's willing to kind of stay in a relationship where things don't change or grow and people aren't healing and maturing themselves, then they've found the person for them to be in a relationship with. That would be a just and fair relationship. But sometimes some people outgrew a relationship or just realize that, at one point this was my truth and I thought this was the right way to live my life and the way I viewed life, the way I viewed myself. But as time went by, I realized maybe I could have gotten into it more out of fear or insecurity or codependency. And I think high vibe people would have offered the people they were in relationship with love to move forward with them and go on this journey with them. But some of the people are like, no, I'm not willing to. I'd have to work through some of my own fears and insecurities of maybe being more authentically myself to be in a more deep, meaningful relationship. So I want to stay here. You can go. So let's go to the next stage of the reading and ask, what's coming up for some people who harness some high vibe Scorpio energy? Oh, I guess the way I interpret it, we kind of go through a phase of life, and then we kind of have to go through a period of like transmuting that energy to reconcile ourselves with it, to let it go. And so if some of you got out of something, then you could have done this work within yourself to work through your own issues, to be ready to leave that in your past emotionally, even though physically you could have already left some things. And then it's kind of because we're ready like for the next lesson. If life's about learning lessons, say it's like comparing it, because it's kind of like we're little children learning how to perpetually walk through life. like when you're kids and you learn how to walk and run and skip and jump, you learn different things. Like, say, I needed to learn how to do jump roping. And we get in relationships with some people that the skill level we're at is ready to learn how to do jump roping, as an analogy. And we get in a relationship with other people who are kind of ready or know how to do jump roping. We get in a relationship with them, and then we're ready to go to the next thing that we're going to learn. But the people that we're with are like, well, no, I don't go beyond this stage. I don't learn hopscotch. I don't learn how to play basketball or something, And that's just kind of where they like to stay. And other people want to learn the next thing in life. And facing their fears, loving themselves, to do this work within themselves, to not keep kind of staying in something where it does start to feel oppressive and confining and limiting. And if people in our life aren't willing to go on the journey with us to face their fears and insecurities about going to the next level, then we wish them peace and we move on. And then as you were on this new journey, you could have been doing this work within yourself to get ready to face your fears of going out and like looking for a new job, a new friend, a new relationship, because you did have victory over how your ego, your fear, your view of life or something was kind of keeping you stuck. People you could have been in a relationship with wanted you to maybe keep living your life a certain way. And it's like, I enjoyed living my life like that at a certain phase of life, but I don't want to keep living my life like that. Let's all move to the next phase. And that's when some people are like, oh no, we don't go there. It's like, okay. So then I got to go find someone who's ready to go to that next phase of life with me. Some of those people will, some of those people won't. Because everyone has to do this work. If you're moving forward in life kind of at a level of looking at life or viewing life a more healed way, a more mature way, a more bold and brave and confident or authentic way than you had before, other people have to do this work within themselves to see if they're willing to do that. And some of those people aren't ready, and they're going to see at some future date that you moved on. And then sometimes some people are trying to get us in shadowy energy. I don't want you to love and believe in yourself. I'm going to purposely do things and take some action in the world. Maybe with the achievement card and deception, do something in my ego that's unjust, unfair, unkind, unloving. Maybe to try to make you feel in loss and conflict. And if you don't love and believe in yourself, then maybe you'll come back and stay in this relationship the way I want to act in it. Keep letting whatever manipulates me manipulate you. And some people are like, I've been there and I've done that, and I've been in relationships with people who I came to realize have these things or other people in their life that kind of manipulate and control them, and those things don't manipulate and control me. And if you're not willing to deal with it about why you're not willing to become independent of it, then I'm going to have to become independent of you. And sometimes people in shadowy energy, they're not seeing the truth of a situation. And so again, people in relationships, instead of being truthful and honest and just and fair, they can do actions that are unkind, unjust, unfair, unloving, in order to try to stop other people from maybe loving and believing in themselves. If I don't feel in that energy, I don't want you to feel in that energy. And some of the high vibe people, we can have people kick us to the curb and throw us under the bus, treat us in unkind, unfair ways. And the high vibe people don't give up their dreams. They just give up on those people. You're apparently not on the same page as me. and want to work together, where you treat each other the way you like to be treated and with love and in a just and fair manner. So, though I might have fear of finding a new job, a new friend, a new romantic relationship, I'm not going to stay in relationships with people who are acting like that. And I don't have to figure out why you act like that. You have to figure out why you act like that. But I've seen the truth, and I've probably already been in relationships with people who act that way. And when people start to show their shadowy nature, I offer them love and encouragement to move forward in life differently. If they choose not to, I can't make someone do differently than what they want to do in their free will. So, I already know I don't like to be in relationships with people who like that way. I did offer love, and I'm going to keep moving forward. And for some of the shadowy people, they kind of learn a valuable lesson that if they act in prideful, immature, bossy, controlling, self-centered, unkind, unjust ways, people are going to leave their life. And if we keep indulging people in poor behavior, they have no incentive to change. And some people took loving people in their life for granted. Oh, I can act this way. Look, I kind of acted this way. And they kept staying and kept offering me love and encouragement. And then I just figured I could kind of abuse it. And it kind of becomes worse over time. Because it's like trying to cheat the system. Oh, I don't have to be just and fair. Perfect. I'm not going to be just and fair. Oh, I don't have to treat you with love and respect and you'll keep staying in a relationship. And they weren't wanting to see the truth. And eventually, the high vibe people didn't want to probably leave either. We'd all like the job, the friendships and relationships we are in to work. So we can keep putting a lot of work and effort in order to make it work. And that's what some people are doing right now. Some of the people you would maybe like to be in a relationship with, they're still in the phase of life of putting a lot of work and effort to try to get to still love and encourage some people. And they have other people in their life they could move forward with, but they're not ready. And they keep believing the people that they're kind of maybe indulging in some poor behavior, they still think those people are going to change. And we've all been there and done that. So we can understand it. And it's like, well, I can only work with the people who are willing to work with me, who are on the same page as me. And the people that are in my life working together with me, doing this work within themselves to move forward with me, to overcome their own shadowy ways of being so they don't sabotage the relationship. Those are the people that we've learned these lessons in life, that if I want to work together with the teacher and loving people, I need to do this work within myself. And they do. And other people could be doing that with other people. Some of the people you would like to be in a relationship with have already moved on with other people and they're doing that with other people. You just got to, sometimes we don't know people well enough to intuitively know how they live their life. Some of them we know. We definitely know. They're maybe kind of shadowy, more about themselves, more about ego or image, not so much love, might be more emotionally shallow and superficial, and they're just more aligned with their worldly nature. That's what they've decided is how they want to live their life. And those people, we know that's not how we want to live our life, so we move on. And I think at some future date, those people will probably feel more of the loss and have inner conflict about it because they had people in their life that were willing to do love with them, but they weren't maybe willing to do that. And same way for some people in our life that might be putting in work and effort to get some people in their life, still not ready to move on yet. And by the time they do move on, you will have moved on in new relationships yourself. Just like people have done in relationship to you. High vibe people accept the truth that people are where they're at. And I'm going to face my own fears and insecurities to work with the people that are in my life, make offers, the masculine energy of commitment, can be offering to get to know people to see if they are on the same page as you. And then if everybody's willing to work through their fears and insecurities and how they can get caught up in their head, and, are they willing to turn their back on their more worldly, egoic, making their life about an illusion, to really deal with their inner conflict about taking action, stepping into unknown territory, letting truth and love guide their decisions? What's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Scorpio that they might not see coming? The Page of Pentacles, because of the King of Cups. As people do this work within themselves, they're going to be ready to go on a new journey because they offered love to their worldly nature. And then the Page of Pentacles, you're harnessing all three of your earth sign energies of Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. I have offered love to my worldly nature. My worldly nature is all on board to invest in listening to love and intuition to guide the decisions we've made. And we've learned the lesson we were meant to learn from that life experience, to love and believe in ourselves and listen to love and intuition to guide us instead of more of our fear or insecurity or our lust or our greed or our pride or our ego to drive us. And then I think as you do that work within yourself and you keep moving forward, there's going to be other people that want to invest in you because they see that you are aligned with your loving nature. And then you just have to listen to your intuition. Which of those people are kind of immature, in scattered, fearful energy, just looking to look victorious, or creating an illusion, want to be like the next person to indulge in a relationship with you, but they haven't really done this work within themselves, and who really has that more hopeful, believing spirit that has done this work within them. And I think in the King of Cups, you'll offer people, treat people the way you like to be treated. Page of Pentacles, I'm willing to get to know people, to see where they're at, what drives them, motivates them, what is their truth. And if they're driven and motivated by truth and love and justice and fairness, and I kind of think we're on the same page in our maturity level or something, then we'll get in a relationship. If not, I'm going to wish them peace, love, and joy, but I'm going to move on. I think some of these people haven't quite been enlightened to the truth yet, and they could be operating more from pride or ego or codependency. And I've already been in relationships with people who are like that. I need to be in relationships with people who are motivated to see the truth, not people who want to indulge in their ego or create an illusion that they're victorious or successful and they've moved on and they've healed and they've grown and matured, but they haven't, What's coming up for the people who might harness a more worldly or shadowy Scorpio energy that they don't see coming? Okay. So these two cards, and the reason is because of the Judgment card. Let's go see what this card is. The World card. The World card in high vibe means that people learned a lesson. And some people didn't know that. Some people were maybe acting in kind of some deceptive, manipulative, rejecting, hurtful, unkind, unjust, unfair ways. And what they didn't realize, because this card isn't showing itself, was that the loving people in their life were doing this work within themselves to love and believe in themselves, to work through their own fears and insecurities of detaching from these people. And they weren't seeing that. And when these people had completed this within themselves to have learned the lesson they were meant to learn, they stood up for themselves. They got out of their more egoic nature to be inspired to stand up for themselves and what they believe in, holding themselves and other people accountable for their actions. And some of these kind of manipulative, shadowy people in people's lives never thought that those people would ever do that, probably because they never do that. They have things within them that they need to stand up to. They're more immature, indulgent, whatever nature people in their life, the world, and they don't ever do it. And they might not, be willing to call judgment on those things, to stand up for themselves and move on from those things. They keep manipulating them. And the other people said, no, I'm not going to keep letting my fear or my codependency or whatever keep manipulating me. And there might be some people in their world that they don't want a cycle to end with. People in their life who are being loving and nurturing and honest and encouraging, that aren't trying to manipulate them and instill fear and insecurity in them or something like that, And I was like, those are the people I don't want to have a relationship end with. And those are the people I'm going to align myself with. We have free will. Which type of people are we going to align ourselves with? People who want us to keep being in fear and insecurity and not growing and healing and maturing ourselves, to be codependent, be in our ego, be in our addictions, be in our more immature worldly nature? Or are we going to go be with the people in the world, even if we don't know them yet, who are more hopeful and believing in just and fair? Another thing they might not see coming is there are other people in the world that haven't learned these lessons, that, could be operating more from, as we all have, a little more from our ego nature, got some lessons to learn, might be kind of defensive, are afraid that they won't get the things that they want in the world, that might be willing to get in a relationship with some of these people. And then these people will get in a relationship with someone new. And if that person is someone who's maybe more motivated by the same things they are, well, then that's a just and fair relationship. If they get in a relationship with someone else who's inspired by love but just might be defensive in some of their fears and insecurities, then this whole cycle is going to repeat itself again. And as some high vibe people move on in their life, like going to the next stage of life, loving themselves, believing in themselves, because some of these people were unwilling to learn lessons in life and grow and heal and mature themselves and chose to be defensive, they could end up feeling judged. That they're just not someone who's willing to face their fears and insecurities to maybe be in more deep, meaningful relationships, or is kind of manipulative or bossy or controlling or shallow or superficial. And, there's a lot of people in the world that like to try to present themselves as high vibe people. I'm fair, I'm emotionally mature, I'm stable, I'm grounded. People should want to work with me. People should want to be in a relationship with me. People should want to marry me, but they're really not. It's just a way they present themselves in the world. But they really have some inner work to do to truly, authentically be the type of person they present themselves as. And some of them definitely might need some professional help. But if they're defensive to seeing the truth of it, I am not who I present myself to be. I do have these fears and insecurities. I do try to manipulate or control people. I am immature or bossy or controlling or have addictions. Shadowy energy is people who want to stay in denial of the truth or are clueless. And they're going to have some hard lessons to learn. High vibe people are having new beginnings. The other people might have the Seven of Wands comes after the Six of Wands, which is about moving forward in something. And we have great achievement here. It's just that some people are moving forward in a deception. You know, again, trying to deceive people about the truth of who they are. Oh, I'm willing to bring that dream into reality. No, I'm just like these people. No, I'm willing to have a new beginning. No, I'm willing to be a student of life. No, I'm willing to do love. But they're not. It's just an illusion they create, hoping that that if they get people in the relationship, that even when people see this person is deceptive and manipulative or kind of prideful or egotistical or self-centered or more about themselves, that they won't move on from it because they're kind of in their ego about letting go of it, and that they'll keep indulging them being in this more kind of superficial and shallow or intimidating or controlling relationship because they don't want to leave it for some reason. And other people have already left some of these people and moved on to go invest in loving people. And everybody's ready to live life differently when they're ready. And some of the people you might have wanted to move forward with, they could be in some life situations that by worldly standards looks victorious and successful, and they're not willing to maybe change the way they live life or get out of their ego or admit that they made a mistake or have made some mistakes in life, or they're in something that looks victorious and they're going to keep defending that. And maybe those people don't have hope and faith and belief in themselves, so they keep living life the way they live it or something. You know, sometimes we don't know. But we definitely probably know some people that are very prideful and egotistical and immature, who present themselves as different than they really are. And you saw the truth of it, so the truth set you free. And you faced your fears about detaching from those people. You learn the lesson, and I think because of that, fate's going to go in your favor. You're actually taking action in the world in truth and love. Other people are going to see the truth of that and want to be in relationships with you. And some other people are going to learn some hard lessons from these shadowy people. And some of the shadowy people might get in a relationship with someone who's like themselves, who presents themselves as loving, but really is more about ego and image. And then they're going to have to decide, you know, if they want to stay in it. When we have two people who might be defensive to love, present themselves as loving, you know, is that how we really want to live our life? Being in emotionally shallow, superficial relationships? That's why sometimes some shadowy people try to create the illusion they're high vibe because they want to be in relationships with high vibe people, even though they're not. But when they get in relationships with people who are kind of like them, then they don't like being in a relationship with someone like themselves either, but they're unwilling to do the work within themselves to quit being a more worldly focused or defensive or fearful person to be willing to give and receive love. So, you know, it's kind of like someone who wants their cake and to eat it too. I want to be with loving, encouraging, warm, giving people because that's great, but I don't really want to authentically be that person. Can't I act like you and present myself like you, but I'm not authentically that? You know, it's like being with someone's false person that they present in the world. Their ego is running their life and their authentic nature looks out through the eyeballs. It's like, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't let their more authentic nature out to play in the world. If you want to let your ego run your life, you're going to have to go find someone else to indulge you letting your ego run your life. Because I don't let my ego run my life, and I do have hope and faith and belief and love, and I'm going to go find the other people who feel that way. So there you go, Scorpio energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.